Hey, what's up, Hognose fans? Thanks for tuning back into Hognose 1. So last time we talked about the amphibian attraction in Hognose. I want to talk about something else pretty cool today. This can happen in captivity. It's pretty cool because it's an adaptation that works for hognose snakes in the wild. It works with lots of biological creatures and something that is called nutritional epigenetics. It's control of expression outside of DNA. Epigenetics effects come from the environment. They include nutrition, behaviors, chemicals, even air quality or exposure to pollution can cause certain genes to turn on or off, enabling an animal to survive better based on its conditions. So we want to look at two different elements of genes that are included within the makeup of an animal. One is somatic line. That is just common to humans, meaning somatic cells reproduce in our bodies 5 fingers, 5 toes, 2 ears, things that are typical for a human being. But then you've got other types that are germ line. And don't think of germs like the bad stuff you want to wash off your hands. No, it's more like wheat germ, if you've ever heard that. That is more lineage specific. So it includes mutations, recombinants, things like that. Stuff like hair color, eye color. It can include things like preference. It can affect the physique of an animal, like skeletal structure, bones. If someone's more prone to being a runner than another person, it can tweak some of those somatic genes, but it's really kind of cool. But in nutritional epigenetics, inheritance alters food preference through behavior modification. You've heard the term conditioning before. Classical conditioning was done by Pavlov. That was just watching and seeing animals respond in certain manners to food prompts. And I believe that the animals were going through a fast, and because of the starvation effect going in, kind of like we do, we're hungry first thing in the morning because we haven't fed through the night, generally, unless you're mid-30s male and you're rummaging through the refrigerator at all hours, eating even things like straight butter. But the point here being conditioning. So consistent feeding of hognose snakes. I know a lot of times people say, never scent. Don't ever scent the hognose, but that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. It's a preference deal. Generally speaking, if you have to scent an animal for its whole life, yeah, there may be an underlying issue or problem. But if you have to scent, condition your animal to getting some meals in, I don't have any problem with that. I talked about that way earlier on. I don't have any trouble with force feeding, gavage, whatever you want to call it. Those are just things that you have to do to get an animal past a hump and get them on conditioning. So we condition to increase cell response to beneficial foods beyond preference. So they may have inclinations to lizard prey, may have inclinations to toad, may have inclinations to tuna fish scent or hot dog scent or whatever you chose to get your snake going on. But we condition them over through different elements of neuro responses. You know, we go from the flavor of it to the fact that there's a wet something touching their nose and their body goes, oh, food, protein, I'm craving it. Let me have it. Same thing with people. We can change or alter our diets. We can alter it in a way where we eat more beneficial substances that cater to not only the pH of our body, but what our body is conditioned for. Generally speaking, if there's massive changes that have gone on in dietary practices, that can translate to a baby in the womb. It can translate to generation after generation. And that has to do with those germ lineages. There are specific traits that are conditioned that benefit that animal long term and its progeny, which is kind of cool. So we condition to increase cell response to beneficial foods beyond preference. I hope this has been interesting to you. I think this is going to be interesting to look at a little bit more, and I will reference this topic. As you breed a line, I do believe it's entirely possible to produce a lineage of hognose snakes like some of my friends have done over in England that consistently feed on mice. They are less likely to deviate from eating mice even just a couple days out of the egg. And I think that's because those generations have successfully been conditioned, and those germ lineages have been trained to expect certain meals of the mammal preference. So it makes it a lot easier. Yes, you can have animals that are more prone to eating a regular rodent diet. As always, thanks for the like and subscribe, and I hope to catch you on the flip side.